Greetings, welcome to part 4 of the basement tapes. Celebrating laying the 30th and final turnout for the moment, so I've now completed the Guadalupe track laying extravaganza. By and large it went okay because lots of planning went into it, but I had to rearrange a few of the final turnouts, always thinking I'd leave myself enough space. All your CAD packages, good that they are, nothing is ever true until you start putting that track down to the plan. And I found out that some of the geometry I had to change, so I had to lift up a few points last night and lay them again and dig out the foam, but by and large we're done, and that's a good thing on a Thursday night to celebrate. Oh, that's good. So I'm going to show you around what we've done, where we are at the moment. One thing that I was reflecting on, I was running the cab forward up just in a wee bit, I've still got electrified. All the sidings are still dead, not one turnout has been wired up yet. That's going to take a long time. But I was thinking, what does this remind me of? And when I was a wee boy, I was 12 and 11. 12, 13, and we used to go to Glasgow Transport Museum, which is a smashing big place. It's much bigger now in Glasgow, and they had this layout that this guy had built of Carlisle Station in its heyday in 1922 or something. The guy had died, brilliant layout, and his wife had donated it to the museum, and it was the first probably brilliant big model train set I'd ever seen, a proper one at an actual location. And I used to spend hours, and all the guys would do, because none of it was wired up apart from the main. They just used to send these big long expresses down the main line, and I always used to die to get into the signs. Mister, make it go into the signs. Sharp. No, not quite. But there we go. Anyway, here's the Guadalupe and the basement tapes volume 4. Okay, so we start again at the north end of Guadalupe, and this is the SP milling building in the foreground. In the past my idea was to build it as a long narrow building with this as a sort of roof line attached to the top, but looking at it, it's so huge, and to really capture the heft of it I'm just going to model a chunk of it and slice it off there. You can see how the roof will go right across the back there. In the back we have the lead to the yard, which is that is the main line, this is the passing track, and the yard pans out, and it's 4 tracks in the yard instead of the prototypical 5, but that's the way it goes. And in the back of that we've got the runaround lead that you can see. And at Guadalupe the runaround lead also led off to another set of packing houses behind the ones you see there. And now we're not going to be modelling them, I didn't want to even do anything to make up for it. So what we're doing is, I've seen pictures, overhead pictures, where they actually store reefers there once they've actually been loaded or ready for use. So we'll just use this track maybe for 4 or 5 reefers that represent that are going to be picked up or dropped off there, which is, it looked okay anyway in the real life. Moving on, the yard finishes there, comes in, and then we have the track that leads to the packing houses, the backyard there, the back track there where the reefer is, and in the foreground there's the icing track. A lot of icing was done at Guadalupe, not only for the Santa Maria Valley, but to serve all the other places right up to San Luis Obispo. So if Oceano packing houses wanted ice, they'd bring the reefers here to Guadalupe and vice versa. So moving on, there's going to be another ice deck there as well when we get around to building it. And there's going to be stop pens here. And here I've just used Walther's 3 knocked together feed store things, and it looks okay. I think I'll actually keep that. It's right nice and anonymous, it's nice and long, and it's okay. So what we come up to now is the last bit I've done. And there's SP 4133 and AC6 and 4133 according to Barry Anderson, Coastline Fireman 1954, to whom I've talked. Lovely man, thank you so much Barry for all your help in what we're doing here. He says that 4133 was hated by everybody. It was a dog, but for some reason it ran right through to 1955, and there's lots of pictures you see in various albums depicting the coastline. So we like 4133. We'll run it in a wee minute. And then coming back from that, we have there is the lead to the Santa Maria Valley Railroad. And there we see Santa Maria Valley 203 and caboose 185. And that's the lead to the Santa Maria Valley that will head off to storage. Here we see the switch at the north end, which is the switch. Here's the main and the passing track behind it. And the main comes down, and that's where we see 4133. So what we'll do is we'll walk back and grab the handset, wherever it is. And here comes 4133. Caboose up, running down the main, just as like I saw when I was a wee boy at Glasgow Museum of Transport. We'll call this the Bobby Zenk shot. And up. And let's see if it makes it around that corner without stopping. And there we go. Stop. And that's it. Once more, thank you for looking. And this is Brian Moore signing off with a gimlet to the sound of a cab forward in the background. Chin chin.